I feel like I've heard just so many, and obviously Alvin and the Chipmunks, there's so many songs from that era that are just like a man singing with like a really high-voiced animal. And that does not happen anymore. What happened to America?
That's an interesting. I think the decline of music is when men stopped singing. You know how Candace Owens is like, "Where's the men?" Those were the men she was talking about.
She's like, why aren't we like hunting with our mouths anymore? Why are we no longer singing with tiny voiced animals on song?
Yeah. That's when real masculinity ended. Hello and welcome to the Lyric Boys. Lucian has finally released the handcuffs from my hands, taken the lock off of my mouth, and has permitted me to do the introduction. Lucian, thank you so much. Speaking of which, Lucian, hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. I am a little bit nervous that the audience will turn off this podcast because your voice is the one that starts it. And I don't think they're used to that. I don't think they're ready for it. I think this was a mistake and a bad idea. But I am excited for this special Lyric Boys.
That's wildly offensive, and I'm going to leave.
This is the...
My voice is like butter. Butter.
Maybe more like, I can't believe it's not butter. Oh.
Some people prefer the smooth, sexy taste of margarine.
That is true. Welcome, listeners, dear Lyric Boys stans. It is the moment you've been waiting for. It is the Lyric Boys holiday special. If you were listening to us, like most of our listeners, you won't even know that we're both wearing holiday sweaters.
I have a sweater on that has Jerry Seinfeld's face on it with him in a Christmas hat, and it says, Jerry Christmas.
I am wearing a green sweater with a penguin, and the penguin is wearing a Christmas hat, and there's snow on it, and it's adorable, and it rocks.
Hell yeah, it does. So, yeah, a little bit different today. We're going to be doing some holiday-themed lyrics from across the spectrum of music. That could mean anything from perhaps a traditional holiday song, to maybe a holiday rock song, to maybe a holiday cover, to whatever your imagination allows it to be.
And just to be fully transparent, when we say holiday, we only really mean Christmas, because all of these are just Christmas songs, okay?
Yes.
We did not...
I would like the record to show that I am wildly anti-Semitic, so there will be no Jew stuff in this episode, because the war on Christmas is real, and the media controlling Jews have propagated it.
Okay, that's an aggressive start from Mr. Stieglitz. So at this point in the podcast, dear Lyric Boy faithful audience, you expect us to talk about a band, explain who they are, explain their sound. But in this episode, we're not going to tell you what Christmas is, because you probably know. You know what the holidays are. You don't need us telling you what they are. But I thought I would ask Andrew, my friend, my podcast compadre, can you tell me what some of your favorite Christmas songs, Christmas albums are before we even get into the lyrics?
Genuinely have none. I mean, okay. I do not seek out Christmas music. I feel like in college, I really liked Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Okay.
Because I thought that they were cool, and they are cool. That's not to say that they're not. But like as the years have gone on, it's just like I can't fucking listen to this shit. I'm sorry. We picked the lyrics, and it's fun to talk about this, but like Christmas music makes me like go into a rage.
I like it to a degree. I definitely do enjoy Christmas music. It definitely makes me happy, but also kind of makes me feel sad and like makes me feel like melancholy.
Dude,
at times.
So I was at an outdoor mall, outdoors, wearing masks, and I cannot the contrast and the irony of like Frank Sinatra telling you to have a holly jolly Christmas I think that's who sings it. Anyway,
Yeah.
the contrast and the irony of hearing "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas" over the radio while everybody is wearing masks and there's a fucking plague going on. I mean, it's surreal. It's so fucking surreal. Like, how can you... We should be hearing music that's just like, "This year has been bleak." That's what they should be playing while people are Christmas shopping, because it's true. It feels like we're all like a mom in her 40s on the brink of divorce who is like chugging pills and booze to pretend that her marriage is okay and hearing "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas" while Christmas shopping. But really, we're all on fire.
It has been a tough year. Yeah, I mean, listeners, you know it. We know it too. Not the most fun year at times. I hope that you're doing okay, though. You're pulling through, that you found some light amidst the perpetual gray that is pandemic and winter. But I did want to mention a couple of my favorite Christmas albums, just because, you know, we can listen to the same Christmas songs all the time, but, you know, it's nice to spread your Christmas wings. But my favorite Christmas album, I think by far, well, there's a couple of ones I really like, but "A Christmas Gift for You" from Phil Spector. I don't know if you know that one. It's great.
No.
It's got "Christmas, Baby Please Come Home" by Darlene Love. The whole Phil Spector Christmas album is amazing. It's like very 60s. It's like, you know, like the Ronettes are on it, and it's like amazing songs. However, okay, so another song on that is the Ronettes do a version of Frosty the Snowman, and the Ronettes sing in like the super thick New York accent, and the song is basically like Frosty the Snowman, and it's hilarious. The whole album
Hey, how you doing? Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
And make you an offer you can't refuse.
The whole album is great. Phil Spector's, if you don't know, audience, an amazingly
They call him Frosty
famous,
because if you don't do what he says, he'll fucking ice you.
Yeah. Phil Spector is an amazingly famous producer known for like using this wall of sound technique where he just had so many instruments going at once.
Yes.
Phil Spector also notoriously murdered someone in 2003. So, to me, "A Christmas Gift for You" from Phil Spector, that's a terrible title now. It's like a Hanukkah present to you from me, O.J. Simpson. Or like "Happy Birthday" from Ted Bundy. It's just like, with that perspective that you're receiving this Christmas gift from a murderer, that whole album is much less inviting.
Yeah, a little bit. Unless there are people who love, like Ted Bundy had all his ladies. I mean, people loved him. So unless you are one of those people who love murderers, then yeah, I would say it's a little unsettling.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm surprised you don't have any Christmas music you like.
Hold on. Here, okay. I do. Let me relive some childhood stuff here. As a kid, loved John Lennon's "Happy Christmas, War Is Over."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As a song. Great song. Like, definitely have good memories of like childhood Christmas listening to that. And then I liked, like I said, I liked Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I really liked Brian Setzer. He was the lead singer and guitarist of the Stray Cats in the 70s. Do you know the Stray Cats?
I do not.
So they had that famous song, "The Stray Cat Strut," but basically he is like a rockabilly kind of guy. So he has like very jazzy sensibilities, but he mixes them really well with like big band and like pop. And he did that song that was pretty big in the mid 2000s. I think it was in some movies, "Jump, Jive, and Wail."
Okay.
Do you know that song? You might know it if you heard it. I'm not going to sing it because it's too hard. But anyway, he does, like, I had a few of his albums, and it's like very big band. It's very like a throwback to like a 20s, 30s kind of vibe.
Okay.
But with like rock and roll mixed in. And he's insane guitarist. I saw him do a Christmas show live. So I was kind of lying, I guess, before, because maybe it's just the mood.
You went to a Christmas show.
I literally did. Well, I went to see Brian Setzer, but it was like him performing a lot of Christmas music.
Okay.
In addition to some of his hits. And he is so fucking good at the guitar. It's like mind blowing. And he has, a lot of times he'll have like sheet music, which you never see guitarists do. But he'll like read sheet music as a guitarist and fucking shred as he's reading sheet music. It was very cool. He's very cool. He's a hometown boy. He's from Massapequa. So shout out to my Massapequa brothers.
Which is sisters. In Long Island, I assume?
Yes, it is. Like,
right. Okay.
Exactly.
Long Island boy on the pods. All Long Island fans at home. Shout out.
Yeah. It is 1 2-minute walk from my front door.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So Brian Setzer was cool. Trans-Siberian was cool. John Lennon, always cool.
Yeah. I definitely like every Christmas put together like some sort of playlist or just like put on some albums that to me are like standards now. The other Christmas albums I love. Do you know Booker T and the MGs? Famous song is Green Onions, like really great organ, like very good 60s, 70s organ.
Yeah.
They have a Christmas album that is called In the Christmas Spirit. And I think it's all instrumentals and it slaps. And it's like Jingle Bells, but it's like really cool, like pipe organ or something. I don't know. It's just so good.
I can get down with it.
Maybe not pipe organ.
I can get down with it. Please don't hate me for saying I hated Christmas music.
No.
I do not like hearing it in stores, I think. Just like going out and hearing Christmas music 24/7, that kind of thing does make me want to blow my brains out. But like a good Christmas album like the Brian Setzer one I was talking about, like that could genuinely be creative and fun and have like a lot of good like musicality to it. That's not just like, oh my god, fucking have a holly jolly Christmas for the 80,000th time.
Well, a Christmas covers album can be a little bit boring, but unless you make it, your own way, or there's also that hard thing with Christmas music. It's like you want to make it actually sound like it fits within the pantheon of Christmas music with like some jingling, some like wintry sounds. Like, you want it to fit in. I'll say this quickly. The other two Christmas albums I really like, Dr. Dog has a Christmas album that is my favorite indie Christmas album. Like, it is really fun.
Very random.
I don't think there's any covers. It's all just like really like sweet and nice and fun and kind of cutesy, but it's just like there's the song Christmas Party. If you're listening at home, check out Dr. Dog's Christmas Party. It's the best one. And then James Brown has James Brown's Funky Christmas.
Oh, fuck, dude. All right, I got to listen to that because James Brown's so awesome.
My favorite song on that is Let's Make Christmas Mean Something This Year, which is like a 6-minute song. And I think the lyrics are just like that over and over again, but very fun.
James Brown is awesome.
I'm also going to talk about one of my favorite Christmas songs later in this podcast. But so Christmas music, there's a lot of it. Let's get into it. You want to give me... All right, audience at home, you know the drill. We are transitioning into the lyrics part of the Lyrics Boy Holiday Special. Andrew Stieglitz, can you give this lovely Lyric Boys audience your first Christmas lyric?
You mean the content hounds?
Content hounds. We're going to make it happen one way or another.
Okay, I'm going to go simple for this first holiday lyric, okay? And I'm going to throw it back for our absolute longtime listeners, our stans, our forever fans. We're going to do a Beach Boys lyric.
Wow.
Can I get a round of applause?
I bet everyone listening to this podcast, who's listened to this podcast from the beginning, is shedding a tear right now, thinking about how they've spent so many weeks with us. How
far have we come?
Yeah.
To release the Beach Boys episode, and now full circle Beach Boys lyric. So the song is Little Saint Nick. Kind of a classic. I definitely remember this as a kid too, listening to it with family.
I love it. Great one.
And here we go. This is so classic Beach Boys, dude. This is the most fucking classic Beach Boys. Based on like what we talked about, the lyric is, just a little bobsled we call the old Saint Nick, but she'll walk a toboggan with a 4-speed stick. She's candy apple red with a ski for a wheel. Which is so fucking stupid. And when Santa hits the gas, man, just watch her peel. These guys, even in Christmas, they can't stop singing about cars. They can't. I feel like somebody would hold a gun to their head and like, don't sing about surfing, don't sing about cars. And the Beach Boys couldn't do it. They'd get their brains blown out.
I feel like this sounds like they went through a song that was already about cars, and then they went and found and replaced it. Like they hit Control F and replaced car parts with like sled parts, but then forgot some because it's a bobsled or it's a toboggan and it's got skis for wheels. Okay,
skis for wheels.
So that makes sense, but then Santa hits the gas. So how is Santa hitting the gas on a toboggan with? It doesn't.
I also got to say, I feel like. Right. I feel like this is also an indication that they weren't really car guys, because I feel like real car guys listen to this and they're like, Wilson brothers, you realize that toboggans don't have stick shifts, right? Like you understand the difference between a car and a sled. Like you know what a car is, right? Because I feel like even if you were skeptical if they're car guys, if you hear this lyric, you're like, oh, I don't think the Beach Boys know what a car is. Because a car is not a sled.
I think I've heard, is pouring some water by the mic. Audience at home, I'm not trying to sneak in a quick pee.
I couldn't hear it.
Oh, wow. I think I've heard that this song might just be Little Deuce Coupe kind of repurposed and made Christmassy. So the Beach Boys song Little Deuce Coupe, which is obviously about a car. Once again, I think they just like swapped out some of the lyrics and like changed the song a little bit and made Little Saint Nick, which is great.
Yeah. I feel like they can do that with any object. Like sing about a TV. Oh, my TV, dude. The remote control has buttons for wheels. And when I hit the gas, man, on that TV and the car guy would be like, guys, you don't know what a car is.
Just imagine going to the Beach Boys house and they're like, yeah, man, turn on that TV. You hit the on button and baby, that thing purrs. All right. And then do me a favor and sit on that recliner. And when you lean back, ooh, you feel the 0 to 60 speed of relaxation, dog.
Yeah. Put on that blanket and you feel that gas pedal just fucking ignite with nitrous oxide.
Hell yeah. The Beach Boys, even in their Christmas songs, still giving us way too many details about cars. Way too many details about sleds. And I love it.
Yeah, they can't go 5 minutes without being like, oh, let me just put on this sweater. And trust me, when you put it on the fuel injection tank on this baby, it purrs. It purrs.
So
hit me with your lyric.
Audience at home, you're going to be delighted to hear this. I gotta stop trying to talk to the audience like that. It's weird. Listeners, my first lyric is another holiday classic, Bing Crosby, named before the Microsoft search engine, if you're wondering. And it is his Christmas standard, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, we all know the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the little tiny reindeer who was bullied for his freak nose, but then his nose saved the day, and everyone's like, wow, we learned the fact that people have differences and we can celebrate those differences, and Rudolph came through in the clutch. So anyway, this song is about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and near the end of the song, Bing Crosby is just encouraging the reindeer to continue on. And he sings, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, on something.
Does he really say that?
Yes. And the song like kind of ends soon after. I was looking that up. I was like, wait a minute. He just said on something. And I like scrubbed it back. I'm like, he did. Yeah, he's just like, etc. Like
he just gave up midway through. He's like, fuck it, you get the picture.
Yeah, he's like, kids, you got it. So I was looking it up. So he forgot Rudolph, but I feel like that's fine because the song's about Rudolph. He's trying to give the other reindeer love. But this is
right.
Blitzen.
Even though they were bullies.
This is Blitzen erasure. Because all the other reindeer are mentioned, but Blitzen. And
what do you think? What's up with Blitzen, dude?
I don't know why Bing Crosby just
I think it's really funny that it's like an etc. type lyric where it's just like, imagine you're singing a song and you're just like what's a song? Like, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, etc., 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 something. You get the picture.
Well, I imagine he's kind of like drunk in the studio. He's like, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on the other reindeer and the other ones too. They're all running. You get it. Just give me that royalty check. I also like on
how many
something.
times have we heard this?
Yeah, I also like on something because it's like Bing Crosby must have been like, I have to be on something to get through singing this song and singing this album of holiday standards. There's also something in the song, if you listen to it, there's this woman singing Rudolph's parts in a really high, wavering voice, and it is terrifying. It is like one of those things that like does not happen in music anymore. That kind of reminds me of like an old 1920s like Disney movie that like scares me. Like it's just really high voice.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a trend like that. I've been listening to old Frank Sinatra stuff, and when you go back to like his really early stuff, like some of his first albums like in the 40s, there's that all over the place, and
like another singer.
It is quite haunting.
It's that, and then like the Alvin and the Chipmunks voice that was also like big at that time, where they'd be like, Lou Monte is this Italian dude or Italian American dude who'd made all these kind of like stereotypical songs, and one of them is Peppino, the Italian mouse. And Peppino has that really high voice, and I feel like I've heard just so many, and obviously Alvin and the Chipmunks, there's so many songs from that era that are just like a man singing with like a really high voiced animal. And that does not happen anymore. What happened to America?
That's an interesting. I think the decline of music is when men stopped singing. You know how Candace Owens is like, "Where's the men?" Those were the men she was talking about.
It's just like she talks about like because everything to her is like men being emasculated. She's like, why aren't we like hunting with our mouths anymore? Why are we no longer singing with tiny voiced animals on song?
That's when real masculinity ended. All right, I got a lyric for you. Are you ready for this lyric?
Lyric number 2 from Andrew Stieglitz.
So I mentioned that I liked Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I still do. I think that they're very talented, and I think that they are impressive. Actually, my guitar teacher, I should just say before I read this lyric, because this is how much I like them. My guitar teacher played in Trans-Siberian Orchestra. He was in the touring company, and he would tour around. My like OG guitar teacher who taught me for like 10 years.
That's crazy.
He was awesome. And
where are they from?
They're from New York.
I always thought they're from the Trans-Siberian area. No, they're from like Brooklyn, I think. Or I mean, they're from all over the New York area. I honestly assumed they were Scandinavian.
No. Mark Wood, I believe is. I'm probably getting that totally wrong. He is the guy. He's from New York, but basically they have a touring company that's from all over the country. So and they'll be able to play 2 shows a night because they'll have like an East and a West touring company. But my guitar teacher was in that. Anyway,
I also don't know why that they were from Scandinavia and not Siberia, but I just assumed.
So many of their songs are instrumental, which is good because the songs that are not instrumental have the cheesiest, worst vocals. I'm sorry, TSO, as you are lovingly known by your fans. They're bad. And here's an example. This song is called What is Christmas? And it goes, what is Christmas? Tinseled fairy tales. Day-old stockings lined up in a row. What is Christmas? Could someone tell me that? What is Christmas? Surely I don't know. This sounds like at first it's like a charming kind of like magical wonder, innocent, wide-eyed children's wondrous Christmas. But it also kind of reminds me of a man who was in a terrible accident and he doesn't know what's going on, and it has really depressing undertones to me. And he wakes up on Christmas and he's like, "What? I just came out of my 10-year coma. What the fuck? I don't remember anything. What is Christmas? Why are there tinseled fairy tales everywhere?" Like, that's a nightmare to me. You wake up and you don't know what Christmas is.
I just like that. Yeah, it seems like someone also kind of on the verge of some sort of panic attack. Because, like, what is Christmas? And then it's like describing like beautiful things. It's like if you like gathered around your grandpa at Christmas, you like gathered all the kids around. He's like telling a story. It's like, what is Christmas? Tinseled fairy tales, day-old stockings lined up in a row, and then suddenly he starts shouting. He's like, "Could someone tell me what Christmas is? I do not remember anymore. Where am I?" Yeah, it is.
It's like a grandpa telling his kids a story, and he slowly loses his mind throughout. But also, yeah, maybe he's having an existential crisis. Maybe he's talking to like a priest, and he's like, "I want to know what the real meaning of Christmas is." And then it just devolves into like, what is Christmas? What is anything? What is this table? What are we?
Or it could just be someone who doesn't know what Christmas is, but recognizes everything else. So it's like, oh, look, tinseled fairy tales. I wonder why those are here. Oh my God, day-old stockings lined up in a row.
That's an interesting question.
That's so interesting. Like candy cane.
It's an interesting question
fairies,
because in my imagination, like my interpretation of this song is a very depressing one where a guy was in an accident 10 or 20 years ago and he's waking up out of this coma and he doesn't remember what Christmas is. But if that's true, then why the fuck would he know what tinseled fairy tales are? What the fuck is a tinseled fairy tale?
It's like this person's like, "Oh, look, it's one of those indoor trees that you put a light on top of." And they're like, "You mean like a Christmas tree?" And this person's like, "What is Christmas? Surely I have never heard these words before. Christ Mass?"
Yeah, it's
then some people call it Xmas.
The only thing
and
he
the X
forgot
stands for Christ. That makes no sense. Surely, what is this?
The only thing he forgot in his coma, he remembers everything else. It's just Christmas. That's the idea and the concept of Christmas is the only thing. So like he woke up from his coma in like March and was fine, like remembered everything, knows all of his kids and his wife, and everything's great. And by the time Christmas rolls around, the wife is like, "All right, time to get a Christmas tree." And he's like, "A what tree?" She's like, "A Christmas tree." And he's like, what is that?
What is Christmas? My second holiday lyric for all Lyric Boy stands is another standard Christmas artist, Dean Martin. So I did Bing Crosby. Now I got to do Dean Martin.
All the jazz guys.
It's a Marshmallow World. So the lyric is...
What? The name of the song is A Marshmallow World?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the lyric is, "Oh, it's a yummy world made for sweethearts. Take a walk with your favorite girl. It's a sugar date. What a spring is late. In winter, it's a marshmallow world." So I'm confused, but I do like how much to me this sounds like it's a marshmallow world is just a place for sugar daddies.
Okay.
Because it's just like describing sugary things with girls walking side by side in this marshmallow world.
Kind of sounds like a bad acid trip.
It does. It does sound like a bad acid trip. It also
or a good one if you're into that.
It's in winter. It's a marshmallow world. It's also like the weirdest metaphor for maybe just snow. Who goes outside, looks out their window, and it's like, snow on the ground, marshmallows.
Yeah.
There's other foods that look more like snow than marshmallows. Maybe icing.
Yeah. Or like shave
Butter.
ice.
Yeah.
Or
piraguas.
Yeah. Marshmallows. If marshmallows were falling from the sky, I feel like they might have a little bit more density especially like jumbo marshmallows, then
I wouldn't
Snow
want
itself.
that.
No. Also, I feel like he's saying take a walk with your favorite girl, right? So maybe he's like going up to his wife and he's like, do you want to walk in this marshmallow world? She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I did pull a YouTube comment from the song, which was, I was listening to this last night, drinking some marshmallow flavored vodka. Me and the wife... No, this is the YouTube comment.
I'm sorry. This is the YouTube comment. I was like, that's out of character for you.
Also, this next sentence would clearly then not be me. Me and the wife had the fireplace going, and she toasted some marshmallows and put it in our vodka drinks. We don't know what happened after that. We woke up this morning with our heads stuck to the carpet.
Oh my god, that sounds like like the Hangover movies, but like the Christmas version.
This married couple just went ham on marshmallow flavored vodka, which sounds awful. Which sounds like truly heinous.
Instead of like partying,
heinous. Sorry, it's heinous. Sorry.
Instead of partying like true cool people, like partying like. Not even like in a gangster way, just like instead of partying like a normal person, they're like, I got the best fucking party idea. Crank up that motherfucking fireplace, break out that marshmallow vodka, and let's me and you sit on the couch and get absolutely fucking ripped until we can't even stand up anymore. It's a marshmallow world, baby.
I guess I just feel like marshmallows aren't that exciting to me. Because like I could have, I guess I couldn't binge eat marshmallows, and I couldn't binge drink marshmallows either, because they're so sugary. And what?
The marshmallow vodka maybe doesn't sound that great. Have you ever had Pinnacle whipped cream vodka?
No.
That shit is delightful.
Pinnacle.
It is very good.
Is that Pinnacle, the brand?
Yeah, they make all kinds of flavors. Yeah, they make like birthday cake flavored vodka.
Wow.
It's real white girl stuff.
Okay. My third lyric is from Jingle Bells by Frank Sinatra. So another classic
Jingle
crooner.
Okay. Yeah.
Jingle Bells.
I love Frank Sinatra.
This is one of those classic cases of so many people have done this song, so we're just gonna find a way to change it up, and that way is gonna be fucking nuts. So the lyrics are, I love those Jingle bells. Those holiday Jingle bells.
We can't let the kids know what we're talking about.
Happy JingleBells. I love those Jingle bells.
It's not a fucking spelling bee, Frank. It's Jingle Bells.
I just love that. It's like, how can we change this up? And it's like, okay, spell out the word jingle. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It also sounds like he's trying to like when parents talk about stuff in front of their kids that they don't want the kids to know, so they spell it out. Like he's trying to like
about the DIVORCE.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that this particularly changes it up that much. I think that maybe he could have been a little more creative with it. That being said, I love Frank Sinatra.
Later in the song, I believe he goes, I don't have this written down. I think he goes, I love those jingle bells, jingle bells. So he does that like little stutter, which is also to change it up. It just, so the other one similar to this is there's a Barbra Streisand Christmas song called Jingle Bells, which is literally Jingle Bells with the question mark at the end because it's so different. And that song, I couldn't pick it.
Do these bells really jingle?
Yeah, what is Christmas? I couldn't pick that song because I didn't even understand how to even attempt to say the lyrics. But it is.
Yes, you sent me this. You sent me this right before we started recording.
It is. Yeah. So this Frank Sinatra song takes Jingle Bells and changes it up a little bit and spells it out. The Barbra Streisand song is just a fucking nuts trip through
Yeah, so she does.
she's
if I could
anxious
try
and she's like hyper.
Yeah,
and,
she's like on coke in that song.
well, because you know,
And
jingle
it's
bell,
just
jingle
like-
bell,
it's-
jingle
it's
bell.
So it starts off so fast and so suddenly. It's just like you have the nice like orchestra, and Barbara Streisand comes in and is like, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. Ah! It's like
Also,
it's like getting the singer of Idols to sing Jingle Bells.
Yeah. She also does this little like laughs to her. She's like, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, ha, jingle bell, laughing all the way, ha ha ha. And I'm just like, I'm shook. So Frank Sinatra's
too intense.
is just there's this dangerous path that when you do a Christmas song that's been done to death, you have to make it your own. And Jingle Bells is a song that's hard to make your own at this point. So you have to get creative and make the truly as nuts version of it.
That Barbara Streisand Jingle Bells song is insane.
Yeah.
Am I
Give
on
me
lyric
your-
number 4 right now?
You are.
Wow, quite indeed. All right, lyric number 4. The name of this song by the pop punk band Blink 182 is Happy Holidays, You Bastard. And the song is 42 seconds long.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's very fast. There's only 2
Wow.
verses. And the first verse, the first verse is, it's Christmas Eve, and I've only wrapped 2 fucking presents. It's Christmas Eve, and I've only wrapped 2 fucking presents. And I hate your guts. I hate your guts. And I'll never talk to you again, unless your mom will suck me off, unless your dad will touch my cock, ejaculate into a sock. As a middle school boy in 7th grade listening to Blink-182, this song, I feel like me and my friends would play on repeat. It was so fucking funny to us. It was so fucking funny to me. It was just like, I can't believe they're saying this. And I didn't know, like, you could say this stuff in a song. Like, this is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, you can say it in a song. What does the song mean, though?
I think that it means, have you ever had, like, at Christmas Eve, right? Picture the scenario that this character is in, right? It's Christmas Eve, and he's got a whole shit ton of he's been working late. He's got a fuck ton of presents to wrap, and he realizes he's only wrapped 2. And now he's got like 18 other presents to wrap. He's got to organize this shit. And he's like, you know what? All these fucking people, I fucking hate their guts. Why do I have to wrap presents for them? This fucking sucks. I don't even want to talk to them ever again. Unless maybe if their mom touches my Jangle Bells, maybe I'll talk to them again.
That's good use of Christmas icon. Fuck, I can't think of the word.
Iconography.
Yep, that was the one. I'm dumb.
Yeah. You stupid. No, but I love this. I love this lyric. I love that. I feel for the narrator. I feel for him.
The first lyric is very relatable to me, which is, it's Christmas Eve and I've only wrapped 2 fucking presents. We've all been there. My present wrapping technique is not great. I tend to overestimate how much I need and then have like, I hide it all behind on one side.
Yes.
And like smush it. And the rest of the other sides look perfect. And you're like, wow, what a nicely wrapped present. And then it's like, it also has a tumor on the other side.
My Christmas wrapping, my presents look like a fucking dog wrapped them. They're so bad. I cannot get any symmetry anywhere. I don't know how people wrap nicely. I've tried. I'm 28. I've tried. It's not going to happen. That's it. I can't do it.
Sometimes I like to put a little bow on the section that I've messed up terribly, so it like hides it a little bit, which is always nice. Nice.
Can I tell you the second verse from this?
Yeah, I was curious if it's considering it's very only funny 2 also. Verses.
Right. So the second verse is about Labor Day, and it's I don't even have it in front of me. I just know it in my head. It's Labor Day, and my grandpa just ate 7 fucking hot dogs. Labor Day, and my grandpa just ate 7 fucking hot dogs. And he shit his pants. He's always fucking shitting his pants. And I'll never talk to you again. Unless your mom will touch my cock. I'll never talk to you again. Ejaculate into a sock. I'll never talk to you again. I'll never talk to you again.
This is a lot. I do feel like this person is singing the song and having these thoughts as he's ejaculating into his sock.
Yeah.
I think these are like his crazy thoughts on like the moment of climax for him, and he's just like thinking about his grandpa eating 17 hot dogs.
Well, he went upstairs. It was Labor Day, right? And the family's having a barbecue. And he's like, I don't want to talk to this. Family's talking about politics. It's so annoying. I'm just going to go upstairs. And then as he's about to go upstairs, his grandpa just finished the 7th hot dog. And everybody told the grandpa, you eat too many hot dogs. Every year you eat the hot dogs and you shit your pants. And what happens? He ate his 7th hot dog and he shit his pants.
I think it's also interesting that the song is so short and has in the middle, it's like smash cut Labor Day. So we went from December to September. And that's it. Normally songs, I feel like don't take place over the course of months, and normally don't do that like in an only 40-second song.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of time covered in a very quick song.
I also wonder if they're like, well, were you thinking of like Thanksgiving lyrics or like Halloween lyrics? Because Christmas is a big one and Labor Day is a much less big one. And it feels a little unbalanced. Maybe Memorial Day would be nice with Labor Day. Maybe Thanksgiving would be nice with Christmas, but the two of them, I don't see it.
What would be the Halloween version of that? It's Halloween and I just ate this entire bag of candy. Halloween and I just ate this entire bag of candy. And I shit my pants. I vomited all over.
Exactly.
It's very catchy. It's an extremely catchy song. It gets stuck in my head a lot.
Okay, I'll have to listen to it over and over again.
It's very
good. My 4th Christmas song is one of my favorite Christmas songs by one of my favorite bands of all time, the Kinks. So it's nice. Father Christmas by the Kinks. And this song I would play growing up, but it always has a little bit, it has more of an edge to it. It's a little punkier than your other like rock Christmas songs.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's very Kinks. The Kinks are very sardonic and sarcastic and like gruff and sometimes, and very funny band. I appreciate that about them. So this song, I'll do the lyrics. When I was 4, I believed in Santa Claus, though I knew it was my dad. So that's funny already to me. And I would hang up my stocking at Christmas, open my presents, and I'd be glad. But the
very
last
astute
time,
4-year-olds, by the way.
Yeah. But the last time I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store. A gang of kids came over and mugged me and knocked my reindeer to the floor.
That took a fucking turn.
Yeah. They said, Father Christmas, give us the money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boys. So,
wow, that was so dark. That took such an unexpected turn from like the whimsical, like, I'm a kid and I know that my dad is meaning well and it's okay. Like, I still love the magic of Christmas, to Christmas betrayed me. The holiday itself stabbed me in the back, threw me to the floor, and it was Jesus Christ, basically himself, that did this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's so sweet in the beginning. And also the way this is a song that, like, I think if you're just listening to it in the background, you're like, oh man, this is a Christmas bop. And then you like zone in on the lyrics and you're like, wait a minute. These kids are mugging and beating Santa. But yeah, I love that he's like, when I was 4, I believed in Santa Claus, though I knew it was my dad. Smart, clever 4-year-olds right there.
Yeah. Do I buy that? Do you buy that? I feel like maybe it's one of those things like, you know, when the Beach Boys are like, we get all the girls and we've never struck out once, and you're like, I don't think you've ever met a girl.
You think it's Ray Davies of the Kinks being like, I was cool. I knew Santa was my dad at age 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think so, man. I don't buy that. I don't think you knew until you were like 15 and you're like, no, I knew.
What I think is interesting about this song too is I don't think so it's about this guy, obviously, and he's playing Father Christmas. So he's basically like kind of standing outside a store, jingling his bell, asking for money, like you see was the Salvation Army people at Christmas, right? Is that the people that do it? And these kids mug him, take his money, and they're like, give toys to rich kids because we only need money. So there's a touch of classism and all of that as well, and despondency, but
very
I think
British.
it's it's very Kinks too. But what I think is interesting is that this guy never like complains about the kids. He's never like, oh damn, these kids like beat me up and I hate them, and if I see them again, I'm gonna pop them. It's very much just like, I got mugged for my money. That's okay though.
Just another day as Father Christmas.
This song also has great like bells in it as well, which you need a good Christmas, a good indie. Sorry, not indie. This is obviously classic rock, but a good rock Christmas song that has some dope bells in it. That's the move.
You got it, dude. Hell yeah.
You could have like a good Christmas song, but it's like doesn't sound like. There's good Christmas songs that are just like about Christmas, about winter, and it's like these are good songs, but I couldn't get away with calling them Christmas songs. But the minute
you gotta
hear
have that like ding dong
or like
that,
and I'm like,
yeah,
yes,
sleigh bells, yeah. Gotta have it, man.
Yeah.
Shall I go on to my fifth and final lyric?
Please do.
Okay. Lyric number 5 is from, I mentioned listening to the song as a kid, John Lennon, Happy Christmas. War is over. So this is Christmas. And what have you done? Another year over, a new one just begun. Now, as a kid, loved this song. When I think about those lyrics, they kind of sound like a very accusatory tweet where it's like somebody very much on their high horse being like, so it's Christmas. What have you done to fight the injustices of the world? What, the Zodiac Killer is still out there. Have you caught him yet? Have you put down your materialistic Christmas shopping to consider for 1 second that this mass murderer has not been found? And that's your fault. Another year over.
It is sad. It makes me feel sad. I was for some reason like had this song, I think because listening to Christmas music earlier today, and I'm just like, damn, another year older, another year over, a new one just begun. It's that treadmill of life, baby.
Yeah. And what have you done? What have you done, Lucian? Have you done anything to help the world's problems?
I don't think of it as that, but it is like it is the end of the year. You tend to be reflective and think about the things you set out to accomplish, whether you did those or whether you didn't. And that's never fun, right?
Well, this is definitely. You go ahead.
It definitely felt like the kind of like negative voice in my head being like. So I didn't think of it like the way you were, but it's more just that negative voice. It's like, so this is Christmas, and what have you done? It's like we're here. We're at the end of the year. Did you really do what you wanted to do, Lucian, or are you still like? Is there still that stuff, that to-do list of things you set out to do that you just didn't do?
Yeah. Well, I for sure interpret it that way too, and I think that honestly, it might be meant to interpret it that way. But I also read it as like this is like my personal problems is, and I talk to you about this a lot too.
Yeah.
Like when I see a tweet that is like that has the word "you" in it, where it's like if I feel like it's talking directly at me.
Yeah.
Where it's like a lot of the tweets will be like, if you think X, Y, Z, then you have a problem with X, right? So like And I feel like they're talking to, even if I agree with the tweet, I'm like, whoa, I never said I thought.
Well, you always agree with the tweet. That's the thing, because it's like it's like your echo chamber. So you're agreeing with takes that like make sense to you, and you're totally on board with. But then it's like you're being treated like you're not on board with that. Exactly.
I'm like, whoa. I never told you that person I never met on Twitter. I never told you I thought that way. Why would you assume that I think that way? That's kind of how I interpret John Lennon. Is like, so it's Christmas. What have you done, you asshole?
I think a fun thing about the song is the way it minimizes like very big things. So this is Christmas. Just that vibe already is like,
yeah.
This is what everyone's going crazy about. Just a day.
And the guy from Trans-Siberian Orchestra wakes up and he's like, "What? What is Christmas?"
Yeah.
And John Lennon's like, "So it's this." And he's like, "But tinselled fairy tales? I don't understand. Day-old stockings." And John Lennon's like, "What have you done?"
And then, like I said, another year over, a new one just begun. Is a very, like, other people on New Year's are like, "Oh my God, making resolutions, 2021, new year, new me. Oh my God, this is the year I get hot." And this is just like, whatever year. And then the biggest one is war is over if you want it, which is just like, yeah, just like, if you want it, we don't need to have endless wars, which I guess is I want more though. Okay, listen, so audience at home, Andrew Stieglitz is heir to the Lockheed Martin family fortune. So if we don't have war, he don't make bank, okay? Is it Lockheed Martin? I'm sorry, I just want to make sure this is a joke. Lockheed Martin. Yeah, oh man, what a good joke. What do they do? Aerospace and Defense Company. Hell yeah.
Drop that mic.
Damn.
You fucking stupid asshole. How fucking dare you accuse me of perpetuating war? Anyway.
How dare you accuse on this podcast I run with you that I perpetuate endless war just because my mommy and my daddy are on the board at Lockheed Martin. My mic is falling.
I think so. At the end of this podcast, Lucian, can you now definitively say you have learned what is Christmas?
Maybe I will after I deliver my 5th Christmas lyric.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. Okay.
All right. So my 5th Christmas lyric, and I wanted to go, I needed to pick Sufjan Stevens. So I went with the song Christmas Unicorn by Sufjan Stevens, which is a song that is 12 and a half minutes long.
Jesus.
And it's track number 58 on his Christmas album, Silver and Gold.
What are the other 57 tracks?
So I would also point out that Sufjan Stevens not only has a 58 song Christmas album, but he also has like 50 something other Christmas songs out there. He has this album is like 10 albums. He has essentially 10 albums of Christmas music out there.
If you want to know, Trans-Siberian Orchestra guy, what is Christmas, you ask Sufjan Stevens, because he knows. He has to know. He has explored the idea and the concept of Christmas, tinkering with its very existence for 58 fucking songs.
Some of it's good. Some of it is like covers of standards made crazy. It's just like, it is a trip. I did not listen to all of it. That's a lot of music. It's really long. But Christmas Unicorn to me has always been the one that stands out by the name Christmas Unicorn. So the lyrics are, "For you're the Christmas unicorn, I have seen you on the beat. You may dress in the human uniform, child, but I know you're just like me. I'm a Christmas unicorn. You're a Christmas unicorn too. It's all right. I love you."
Okay, I feel like this is, as track 58, I feel like he was like, the record company is like, you signed on. You said you would do 58 songs. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I've exhausted every option. And they're like, find something. Just fucking find something. You're contractually obligated. And he's just like, I'm the Christmas unicorn. He's going crazy. He's got a long beard. It's been hours in the studio. He hasn't slept in days. He's drunk. He's tried everything. And he's just like, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. And what
I like about that imagery you're planting is that there's some record label out there that basically was like, oh, a 58 song Christmas album? That's a hit. Like, yeah. They wrote that contract. They were just like, make it 12 songs. They were like, we have to make
This record executive is like one of those guys in the Christmas movies that's like, I love Christmas. Or maybe he's like, I hate Christmas so much. I'm going to torture people with a 58 song Christmas album.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny to imagine that, like, clearly this is like Sufjan Stevens loves Christmas, and this is like him wanting to make as much Christmas music, but the idea that there's actually just like some evil record exec out there that keeps making him make Christmas music, and he's like, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to make introspective songs about death. I don't want to make more Christmas music. Make me stop.
He's got like whip marks on his back. They bring in like Christmas themed torture devices. Like there's a reindeer,
little elves
who just like little elves who like slap him in the dick, and then there's like a reindeer that like stomps him, like runs over him. So they put sleigh bells up his ass, so every time he walks, it's just like
a little jingle.
Yeah. So
the thing about this lyric too, I like, is that it doesn't really make much sense to me, but I like that he's like, I'm a Christmas unicorn. He's very happy about it, and he's talking to this child who's also a Christmas unicorn. He's like, you're a Christmas unicorn too. That's cool. But he's like, it's all right. I like that he says it's all right, because he's like so happy about him being Christmas unicorn, but the fact that the child's the Christmas unicorn, you're just like, it's okay. I love you. I don't know. It's just like, we're all Christmas unicorns, and it's okay that we're all Christmas unicorns, and I love us all for being Christmas unicorns.
Like Christmas unicorn was like, Sufjan, I'm feeling a little bit insecure about the fact that I am the Christmas unicorn. He's like, it's all right. I love you.
There's a lot of excess with Sufjan Stevens and Christmas. Like I said, he's released over 100 Christmas songs. This song itself is 12 and a half minutes. It also, it's avant-garde, and then it gets really avant-garde, and it goes to this really super undulating, fast, like electronic rhythm. There's some like drums and sleigh bells, and then he just starts singing lyrics from the Joy Division song "Love Will Tear Us Apart," which is just love.
I love that song. I know.
Love will tear us apart again, which is one of my go-to karaoke songs.
Yes,
because you could do the super. I love just doing that, like that. Love will just super like deep, sort of like atonal for me at least. So this is a Christmas unicorn song that just somehow becomes a really weird cover of a Joy Division song, which is wild. And then there's a lot more. I pulled YouTube comments. I have a lot for this. But one thing I found on the internet is that basically this is like a Reddit comment, and someone's like, hey, does anyone know what the song Christmas Unicorn means? And someone's like, not only do I know what it is, or someone's like, yes, there's this woman out there who wrote her graduate thesis on the song, wrote a 71-page paper on what the meaning of Christmas Unicorn is. I found it online. And I'm gonna read
sometimes
whole thing.
let me just say something right here. Some people have too much money, okay, and they spend it on shit like going to grad school and writing a fucking thesis on the Christmas unicorn. Let me tell you something. If you're doing that, if you're listening to this podcast and you're in grad school writing a thesis about the Christmas unicorn by Sufjan Stevens, you have too much money. Give it to somebody else and find something else to do with your life. It's not okay. That's bad.
Strong words from someone putting out weekly podcast episodes. Yeah, but that's your point.
My podcast, okay, our podcast
not cause.
has changed the world.
It's true. So I just pulled up the paper. It's 71 pages. I'll shout her out. Jana Martindale in 2014 wrote for Baylor University, I'm a Christmas Unicorn, a musicology and theological analysis of Sufjan Stevens' song Christmas Unicorn.
I hate this person.
I will just quickly go summarize some of the abstract. The purpose of this thesis is to introduce the reader to Sufjan Stevens' 2012 58-track album Silver and Gold, and specifically the final song Christmas Unicorn, a 12-and-a-half-minute anti-epic pop song that starts off in a folk style and builds to an electronic symphonic climax. Skipping ahead, I argue that this album is a postmodern presentation demonstrating all the different expressions of Christmas are valid, no matter how commercial or humble. Christmas Unicorn synthesizes all these styles through the metaphor of the unicorn, which is a medieval symbol of Christ and the Nativity and the crucifixion. Stevens uses the symbol of the unicorn to represent Christ as well as humans and all the different attributes of Christmas. Boom. Take a bow, Jana Martindale.
I will say, okay, I do think that is a spot-on analysis. I also think that time could have been more productive doing literally anything else. Shoving Jingle Bells up your ass and shouting, "I am the Christmas unicorn," as you prance naked through the streets would have been a more productive use of that time. However, that said, good job, good analysis.
I do wonder if it needs to be 71 pages. I have not read it all.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't.
And to be fair, maybe it does. But I do feel like that is a thing that in academia, perhaps things get a little bloated and reworded. And in the field of studies, things can be quite long and repetitive. And in the big moneyed university world, it is often common that things drag out a while, even if they might be presenting the same information. Here's a question. If you are the heir to a weapons contract, like a gigantic weapons company or defense contracting company.
Mm-hmm. People are going to think that that's real.
Your choice is to continue down the weapons path of making weapons or whatever they do, making money from wars, or to go off to some liberal arts school and write a 71-page paper on like a song or an album. What would you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Blow up every country with my weapons. Absolutely bomb the shit out of them before I would even write one sentence about a thesis about any song, really.
Yeah. It would be fun to I could not go that far. It would be interesting. Like there are times I go down that like a rabbit hole of like looking at one song and I'm like, yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Well, yeah, I do. I love lyric genius and like analyzing stuff like that, but I would never like pay a school to do that. Why would you need to? There's lyric genius. Just write that shit on lyric genius. Wikipedia. You don't need to go to school for that.
I did pull like one or two YouTube comments that are much quicker and kind of strange. This first one is, my family is doing a unicorn instead of a Christmas tree this year. So I Googled Christmas unicorn to see if anyone else has done it. And I found this. Interesting that someone's family decided to do a Christmas unicorn instead of a tree.
Yeah.
And what
does that mean? I don't know like what she means by that.
I don't know either. What's serendipity for this person to be like, I wonder if anyone else has ever done a Christmas unicorn?
My mind is going to like they killed a horse and they put it in their living room and then they slapped a horn on it and they're like, look, it's the Christmas unicorn.
My thought was just like a kid who's obsessed with unicorns and it's like, can we have a Christmas unicorn instead of a Christmas tree? And the parents are like, okay, Emily, shut the fuck up about unicorns. Okay, we'll give you your Christmas unicorn, but we already had a Halloween unicorn and we had a Labor Day unicorn and we had Memorial Day unicorn and we had an Easter unicorn. This is your last year.
But Labor Day was ruined because my grandpa shit himself.
Yeah. And so the other YouTube comment, two more for you. One is, takes serious balls to write music like this. God, I love Sufjan. I just appreciate that someone was like this. Normally people, I feel like, write that type of comment on like music that is like very like boilerplate garage rock, like blues band in a bar music. They're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, this music has balls. So I do that someone wrote that on a comment about this like 12-minute long meandering wispy like Christmas song. I appreciate that someone recognizes that also takes balls.
Yeah, I got balls hanging off my pickup truck. I listen to Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah, sometimes like, you know, if you saw like a gigantic lifted pickup with truck nuts, and it pulled up like beside you or like pulled into a dive bar, and it was just playing Sufjan Stevens, I would be shocked.
Yeah.
There are times I feel like that when I drive through like rural upstate New York, and I'm just like bumping some really like sad indie rock song, and I'm just like blasting it, driving through like small towns, passing like motorcycle drivers and like tough looking people who are like have dead deer in their back. And I'm just like, hell yeah, Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah, that's a great visual.
So my last YouTube comment from this is, I came here searching for unicorn music. Once again, another person.
What
just
does that mean? What is unicorn music? I came here searching for unicorn music. What is that?
You think unicorn music is music that people think unicorns would like if they existed, or music about unicorns?
I think these people probably think unicorns do exist.
Yeah.
And that therein lies the problem.
Well, imagine if you went to, it's like, I came here looking for BDSM furry stuff, and I found this really cool song. So thanks. No. So I came here searching for unicorn music and was already a Sufjan fan. Now I'm hitting repeat while laying on the floor between the speakers with the volume turned way up, wiping tears from my eyes and smiling from ear to ear. So this person went in searching for unicorn music and stayed to have just the full range of human emotions.
I came here looking for, unicorn music, something that everybody knows exists. And I contemplated my entire life and what it means to be human in those moments. Wow.
This is the Lyric Boys holiday special. And what have you done? Another Lyric Boys episode over. A new one coming soon. What do you want to say before we log off?
Content hounds, be sure to like and subscribe to the Lyric Boys on, say it with me, we got an Instagram, we got a Twitter, we got a TikTok.
That's right, we're young and hip.
We are. We got a Facebook page because we're also old and boomery. And we're on YouTube, and we post those shorts. And if you see our shorts, be sure to say hi in the comments.
You can also watch the episodes on YouTube if you don't want to just listen to us. If you really want to consume the content and see what our faces look like, you probably are wondering, what color hair does Lucian have? What color eyes are Andrew's eyes? Well, if you watch our podcast on YouTube, you will know. But of course, you guys are already listening to us. Just do us a huge solid. It would be our Christmas gift. Just tell your friends about this podcast. Subscribe. Just talk to us about it. If you want to hit us up on social media where Andrew's told us you can hit us up, they'll find us at the Lyric Boys. We want to have a conversation with you. And also, guys, 2020, Christmas, holidays, whatever you celebrate, whatever you believe in, we appreciate you listening to the Lyric Boys and making us a part of your life. And I hope that you guys have a great New Year's and that 2021 is an improvement. And yeah, keep doing that life thing, guys. I'm so impressed by the way you are surviving.
Wow. Amazing.